Good morning everyone. My name is Singh. I am a GDA candidate and I recently cleared my SSB from 17 SSB Board, Bangalore, Selection Center South on 28th October 2020 recently held. I am a GDA candidate and with the guidance and grooming of General Ranu Singh Rathore sir of Director General of GDA, I was able to crack my SSB held at Bangalore. I am very grateful to my parents, my mates, and sir for his teachings, from which I was able to clear my SSB. First of all, I was very raw at it. It was my first attempt, and before it, I have never experienced or known anything about the SSB. I came as a raw student in the first week of October to Ranu sir. Sir told me that you have the capability and the potential to crack the SSB. This gave me a lot of confidence, and because of this, I joined the GDA in the second week of October and got plenty of time to learn and embrace with him his thoughts, his guidance, and his vast experience, which counts for 40 plus years. The GDA provided me a platform where I can perform or get what I wanted. Because of this, my fellow mates, sir, and my parents and other ones' guidance helped me to crack my SSB in my very first attempt and as a fresher. First of all, when I came here, I didn't know anything about the SSB, but sir started from zero and took me to the level where I could achieve the success of cracking the SSB. Simple things and keeping it simple was the best mantra of sir. Because of this, I kept it simple, original, and no bluffing. He always told us that speak the truth and be always what you are. And this helped me a lot because of this I gave original ideas and original things at my SSB. Many of the other candidates who came from different coaching academies lost their originality, and because of it lost their chance of getting recommended or even screened in. But because of my originality and the guidance provided by Ranu sir, I was able to clear my screening as well as my 5-day process and was able to get recommended and medically fit, and now I am awaiting for the merit list. First of all, I would like to say thank you to sir and GDA that they provided me a platform where I could learn to crack the SSB. In the 2 weeks process I spent with sir, he always guided me with the best examples and the best grooming facility which one could get. I didn't know where to go and what to do, but he started from the basics and took us to the advanced level. And that was the thing which I think influenced the most in my success in the SSB. Because of this, the first thing, like in the first 2 or 3 days, he explained us the screening process, which I think is the most important because of the mass rejection which happens on the very first day. It is important to clear the first day because even if you have potential and you get screened out, no one will see your potential. So he equally focused on the screening process and the OIR, which is I think one of the most important aspects of the SSB. Once I got screened in, then there was a 5-day long process which had many important dynamics which I learned from him. He told us that be original and try to do everything that you can do. Like in the second day, in the psychology test, as we were told by sir, that write a story simple and brief. Simple stories like which contain a past, a present, and a future. Likewise, I always wrote the 12 stories in the same manner, past, present, and future. Equally, I also focus that every story shows some of my OLQs in it, so that I groomed the story well and saw the picture carefully. Then in the second TAT, then after clearing the TAT, there was WAT. In the WATs, sir told us to attempt all the 60 and I attempted all the 60. Using his tips which he gave for the WAT, I got very good chances and cleared all the 60. Then in the SRT, again he told us that 50 is the number that you should reach. Because of his practice and his tips writing brief SRTs, I got to the mark of 55 and was able to complete all the 55 SRTs. Then in the STD, he only told us one thing, that be original, and I am not going to tell you anything about SDT because its name only signifies that it is self-description test. You should yourself describe your abilities and your disabilities, which I would say good and bad qualities. We should reflect both of them. Because of it, I reflected all my qualities and wrote truthfully whatever came to my mind first. Then in the GTO task, which is the third day, I performed very good. In first of all the GD, I discussed many great points and did very good initiation of both the GDs. In my group, 2 people were not speaking very much. So in between, when I realized that the discussion is going on between only 3 or 4 people, I also initiated that they should also get a chance to speak. That sir told us that you should give chance to other people. Then GP sir told us that it is the most important part of all the GTO tasks, because the group planning exercise signifies how well planning and organized you are, which is one of the most important OLQ. So I focused very much on my GPE and performed greatly. I, like sir said, that first listen to the story and the different aspects of what the GTO told us. I listened to them carefully and performed my GPE very well. In the group tasks, PGT, HGT and FGT, I performed very good, gave very innovative ideas. As sir told us that original ideas would help you to gain fast, and this was the only case. He also told us that if you got any different ideas from different coaching academies, then the GTO will find out. This was really the scene in my GTO task. The another group had one from studying from a institute in Delhi. So he was applying his ideas and trying to thrash others. So GTO immediately knew and asked him that, have you done any coaching? He was constantly refusing that, no sir, I haven't done any coaching, but the GTO said, be truthful or I'll know. So he again admitted that, okay, I have done it from a coaching, and then GTO knew, and that child was unfortunately not recommended. So keeping it original was the only thing that sir said, that ideas should be original. Nothing is like that. If you have performed some GTO before, then it would help you. It's nothing like that. Whatever you see, whatever you do at that time is the one that matters the most. Then again, at the individual obstacles, I haven't done any individual obstacles in my life like that. People in my group have done it for 3 to 4 times, and they were able to complete all the 10 and repeat 4 more. The average of my group was 14, 13, 12, 14, 13, 12, like this. I was the only one who was able to complete only 7. But as sir said that individual obstacle doesn't give you upper hand, I performed it in a significant way and in a logical way, what sir told us to follow the strategy. And fortunately, I was the only one in my group to get recommended, and all those who had done 14 and 13 were unfortunately not recommended. So individual obstacles, I don't think personally that plays a very significant role in your selection or in my selection. I got recommended, and if you don't perform well in IO, you can also get recommended. So then in the command task, sir also told us that command task is also one of the most important in the GTO. Because of the command task, I got a pretty difficult command task, but I was able to complete it with my ideas. Many people were not able to complete their command task. So in the command task, you should focus on using your subordinates and your resources well. Then coming to the interview, my interview was on the 3rd day itself of the GTO task. In the interview, my interview went for around 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it was a bit long. and it was taken by the president of the 17 SSB, who was a rank of a major general. Sir told us that interview should be calm and should be original, and one must not take stress. So in the GDA, we were also given a mock interview by sir, and sir highlighted my points that which I should work on, like in my family. When he asked about my educational qualifications, I was not able to remember the questions that he asked. So sir said that just try to improve and learn that you don't answer the questions asked at the last. So try to remember the questions. As I did, I tried to remember all the questions, and the rapid fire that he played with me on my family, I was able to complete it very well. Then, first of all, my interview went with an easy note with my family, educational qualifications, my hobbies, my interest, and I think everyone answers that quite well. The one of the tricky questions that he asked me in this was that if whether you have cleared NDA or not. As I have cleared my NDA, I said yes. So he said that if you have cleared your NDA, then why are you coming for TES? So I told him that TES is a technical entry and I got the first chance, so I didn't want to waste any chance. So I got here and I will give my 100% in both the entries, and entry doesn't matter. I want to join the defense forces. He was, I think, quite impressed with my answer, and he smiled and said okay. Then he moved on to the hard part, which was the current affairs. First of all, he started with the national issues and asked me about what is happening around India. Sir before told us that you should be aware about the national as well as international and geopolitical issues which are happening around the world. Because of his guidance and his teachings, I was able to remember the things that he told us in the class about the national issues and was able to answer them to the IO very good. Then he came to the international issues like Armenia, Azerbaijan, US elections, and COVID, which is happening around the world. All of this were actually told us by Ranu sir, and he also prepared us for such things or questions if he asked. So I was very comfortable on his questions which he asked. In the end, he got to some tricky SRTs and gave me some different SRTs and also told me that do you remember some of your SRTs which you have attempted. These also sir told us that it would happen with you if your interview goes long, then in the end he would definitely ask you SRTs. So when my interview was going on, I was mentally prepared that I would get SRT and would answer them calmly. So I answered them pretty well. In a last SRT, I got stuck because after 3 solutions, he told that okay, none of this is working. Then I got some stuck, but then he again said that okay, I will allow your this solution and you can proceed on. So that was also a good thing that I did, that I answered his all the SRTs very good. Then again in the ending he told me that anything you would like to share in the conference. So sir told us that give your fair opinion, so I gave him a fair opinion, and then he let go of me in the conference. And after the conference, when the result was announced, by the blessings of God and my parents and my mentor Ranu sir, I got recommended and my chest number was announced.